Begin log. This is Dr. Dan. Today is November 2nd, 1972, and I am here reporting that the new Arrowhead facility located in Kildane on the island of Sodor has been completed. We have disguised the facility as a power station for the eastern side of Sodor. So far, the head of the railway, Sir Bertram Topham Hatt, doesn't know our true intentions. The other scientists are almost done setting up the equipment. Once they are done, we will continue testing for possible multi-dimensional travel. What? What do you mean? Bloody hell. Alright, fine, I'll be there. End log. Begin log. This is Dr. Dan, reporting an update on the current situation. Due to the size of the facility and the amount of equipment we have, it is obvious that we needed an engine. Thankfully, with the help of Topham, we have acquired his number one, known as Thomas. This, of course, is only temporary till we get a permanent engine. So far, he's been, difficult, to say the least. Apart from that, we've made some very interesting findings. So far, we haven't been able to generate enough power due to our generators also covering part of the island to keep up our cover. We've been testing different ways to generate more power, but so far, we've had no luck. End log. Begin log. We've done it! I can't believe he's done it. Dr. Phineas Taggart finally managed to find a way to create large amounts of energy. He's been in his lab for the past few days researching something, and he's finally revealed it, and it worked. The answer to everything was agony of all things. Now let me explain. Dr. Taggart has believed human emotion is a lot more powerful than we all believed. We all thought he was just crazy, but he proved us wrong. He showed us this machine with what looks to be a crown within. He revealed it to be the recently discovered King Godric's crown. He said that the energy of agony can stick to things over time, and King Godric's crown was full of this energy, from the wars, deaths, and betrayals it had been through. It then showed his machine harnessing this energy, and it began powering everything in the vicinity around it. It was genius. We finally have a way to create enough power to open windows or even doorways into other worlds. We're going to become gods. End log. Begin log. It worked! We've done it! We've opened a doorway into another world. However, the product wasn't what we were expecting. Once the doorway opened, mist began to pour into the room. We managed to contain it within the room, however Dr. Emily has gone missing. We presumed he was locked in the room, but once the mist dissipated, he was nowhere to be found. We've come up with a theory that the mist was the doorway, and due to Dr. Emily being in direct contact, he was taken to another world. We tried opening the same doorway to bring him back, but no luck. He has been deemed killed in action. Some have been rather skeptical in staying in the same room as the mist, as we still aren't sure if the mist itself is the doorway or it creates them, and Dr. Emily still was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. What we need is a test subject, but who? I wonder. End log. Begin log. We had a slight breach in containment today. The number 5, known as James, had just delivered a goods train full of items requested by Dr. Taggart. And as he was waiting for the all clear to leave, mist from an experiment going on in one of the nearby buildings was shot from the air vents and went all over the number 5. After looking over the engine, we deemed he was safe to leave, and he did. However, after looking into the cameras more, we noticed a decent proportion seemed to have been sucked into his funnel. We don't know if this will have any implications later on, but we'll make sure to keep an eye on him. Thomas is also doing alright. We've done some testing involving him and the mist while he sleeps, and we've seen the mist be sucked into his funnel, just like with the number 5. However, with Thomas getting much larger quantities, this seemed to have had some negative effects. His demeanor has changed into the short-tempered and irritable engine we've come to know. He's now become silent and clumsy. Some of our researchers have caught him talking to himself. The likes of what he's talking about is unknown. Further testing is ongoing. Perhaps we'll need a new test subject. End log. Begin log. We have made some disturbing discoveries about the mist. It seems the use of agony as a power source has a lot of negative side effects when large quantities are introduced to the subject. We managed to get a hold of a new engine as number 1 is getting more and more unstable. We had a hold of one of the railway's diesels, a green British Rail Class 40, number D261. We told Topham that he was stuck due to some jammed doors and would have to stay in the facility for a few days. Thankfully, he bought the cover story, and we continued. We had Thomas shunt D261 into a large containment shed. D261 asked the number 1 what was going on, but he gave no response, and left the diesel alone in the shed. Once the doors and windows were sealed, the room was flooded with the mist. After several minutes, we lost sight of D261, and the sounds of screams were heard from the containment shed. We tried emptying the room of mist, but the controls failed, and the screams grew louder, and soon they ceased. Once we finally emptied the room, what we found horrified us. It was D261, but his face had changed. His eyes had been replaced with what we could only describe as faded black holes, and his mouth was turned into a crooked and distorted grin. Several other faded black holes were all over his face, some of which were extra eyes. I don't know what to think. I tried telling Dr. Taggart that we needed to find an alternate energy source, but he isn't budging. I fear we may be dealing with forces beyond our comprehension. End log. Begin log. I tried to tell them that agony was going to be the end of us all, and I was right. We opened the biggest doorway than we ever had before. Instead of just one item full of agony, we had several powering the doorway. Then something came through. It was this massive creature that I can't even describe. It began attacking and killing everyone. I only just managed to escape that damn control room. I came across Dr. Taggart as I ran through the halls. He was laughing like a maniac. And that's when I realized that he'd been infected by the mist for weeks, and this was his plan the whole time. I managed to hide in his security office, and I've sealed the door, but they don't know I'm here. They keep banging on the door, but I don't know if they are real. They aren't my colleagues, not anymore. There's a way to override the system and shut down the machine. I gotta make my way to the control room. But in case I don't make it, you have to... No, get back! Phineas! You don't have to do this to me! No.
All right, James, just a few more minutes and we'll be ready to go.
Good, I want to get as far away from here as possible.
What's the matter, James? You've been a little off these past few days.
I don't know. It's just that ever since I was sprayed with that steam at the facility, I've been hearing strange things.
Hearing things like what?
Screams. Lots and lots of screams.
While we'll have a talk with Topham about that, I don't think that research facility is all that it says it is. We've gone up and down the coaches and everyone is okay. We're going to stay here for a few hours till everything cools down.
I knew this would happen, or why didn't I listen? Everything I've been hearing these past few days, the screams, the explosions, they were premonitions, warning of what to come. If I listened, none of this would have happened.
James, don't say that. None of this is your fault. There was no way we could have seen this coming and promise everything will be all right.
All right, Arthur. I'm gonna try to make a run for the Carstown or Barrow to get these remaining passengers to any nearby shelters where they could be safe.
James, before you leave, I want to warn you to be careful out there in the mist, especially during the night. There can be some dangerous creatures or living beings out there that we aren't aware of yet.
Thanks, Arthur. I will. And take care of yourself out there. I just hope this living nightmare will be over and dealt with soon. Thomas, is that you? I can't believe you were all right. Thomas, what's the matter with you? You were kinda creeping me out.